Hold on, let me turn my hearing aid up.
Welcome.
Welcome. Welcome.
Welcome.
Welcome!
Welcome.
Welcome to the Everything and Chill Show. I'm Rob Hunter.
I'm Sean Montero.
That's right, my semi-comic expert.
Like, why do you dumb me down like that?
I'm not dumbing you down.
Yes, you are.
I'm giving you high credits.
Semi is not high.
Well, there's none. You could be a
Semi
non-comic.
is like half a credit. That's like me getting a semi-credit in high school.
Okay, what would you want to be called?
Just call me your fellow comic book expert.
Okay. This is Sean, my fellow comic book expert.
Thank you. Give me my respect.
There we go. Welcome this week. We're just joking around. Anyway, this week we're going to talk about, of course, WandaVision, the season finale. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. So this is your spoiler warning now. When we get to that topic, we will be talking about what happened on the show. So ahead, up to that point, we might just spoil everything. So if you don't want to get spoiled, don't watch. That's all I can tell you. Don't listen. All right. Let's start off with this. The Flash this week.
Yes.
Season 7, episode 2. Okay? Eventful. Crazy, right?
Yes.
We saw that they finally have got some of the quirks worked out of this artificial speed force.
Yes.
We saw Cisco and Caitlin come back on the show. Everybody else was absent again, right? It seems like they can't get all these people together in one room together.
Well, yeah, because...
Well, I'm not talking about the ones in the Mirrorverse. I'm talking
Yeah.
about the other two. Well, she was there, the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, let's talk about that. Caitlin got
super speed.
Yeah,
which was very fun.
While
see.
she was throwing ice around, that was pretty cool.
That was amazing.
She was like throwing frozen lightning bolts.
She was actually faster than Barry.
Yeah. Well, I think it enhanced them. I think whenever you take Velocity 9, you have
she
meta
had
ability.
Velocity 10.
Oh.
It said X, so she had 10.
Ah. That's right, because they had their improved from Velocity 9. That's
Mm-hmm.
right. Well, good show. I think it's going to kick off good this season. It's still kind of in this Mirrorverse type thing. They got to finish that up from last season. I think what I heard is that in the second half of the season, we'll go into the John Diggle story, where he'll show up more and hopefully talk about the Green Lantern. Hopefully. That's what people are talking about. I don't know if that's going to be the case or so, but we'll see from there. But following The Flash, Superman and Lois.
Yes.
What did you think about this week's episode?
I thought it was really good, and it was very relatable to someone like me. Because imagine having powers. Because if you don't know what's going on in the show right now...
You can say it. Don't matter.
Yeah, okay.
If
No
you don't-
spoilers?
No. If you don't want to know, turn it off right here.
Okay,
I'm going to
all
tell
right,
you.
there you go.
Spoiler alert,
Okay.
Superman and Lois.
Okay, so basically this week's episode is basically focusing a little bit more again on the boys going into the school. Jonathan and what's his
Jordan.
Jordan. Okay, Jordan are going. Well, Jordan's going back to school now because Jordan was pulled out of school, and so basically he's getting back to that life of trying to hide his powers again from other kids knowing, and basically he's now signing up for the football team. And the kids that have been bullying him, he's literally going and shucking them. On top of that, it had like a cool side story of Lois, showing her investigative reporting skills, and then Clark balancing out how to be a father and try and mentor the kids while they're going through things at school. So basically, it just showed a lot of them, their development. You saw some cool things that, Superman does. He is, I think, by far the best Superman we've ever seen on screen.
I have to agree with you. I mean, Christopher Reeve is always going to be the original, and he's the man that made you think a man could fly. And I had a huge thing for Tom Welling. He was never really Superman.
Well,
but I think he played the character well, and Clark Kent coming into it. But
When you talk about Superman and who he is, like it's like a
Tyler Hoechlin's got it down.
He really does.
He's really a good actor. I was actually watching him in another show this week called Another Life on Netflix, and he was only on a couple episodes, but he was actually playing sort of a bad guy. So to see him this week playing two different shows, even though Another Life is older, but to see him going from Superman to a kind of a bad guy, just to show you his range of acting, he's good, and would be good in the big screen also.
Oh,
and I think the way they've done this show, they can transition him into the big screen no matter what. The suit, the effects, everything. I got a prediction, and I'm going to say it right here. This is not a spoiler because it's a prediction, but on the show this week, we did see another superpowered being who matched up to the strength of Superman. Superman had a hard time taking him down for a couple minutes.
Okay, I thought you were talking about the end.
Hold on.
Okay.
I am going to talk about the end.
Okay.
And then at the very end, we saw that superpowered being put down by what it seemed to be another Kryptonian because she had the heat vision.
Mm-hmm.
It was a she. I don't think it's going to be Supergirl because it seemed to be a bad person, a villain. And it seemed to be they're working on it with a team. That's what it said.
Mm-hmm.
Here's my prediction. You have Captain Luthor. I'm not going to call him Alexander or Lex. I'm going to call him Captain Luthor going after Superman in episode 1 and 2 because he thinks Superman's going to be bad, right? Yes. I see it playing out this way down to the season finale that Captain Luthor and Superman are going to have to team up, and you're going to have to see them take out these other superpowered beings, these other bad Kryptonians, which might even end up to be Zod. That could have been Fiora. We don't know.
Okay.
But it's tough to see. It's tough to see a female Kryptonian in something and not think either Kara as Supergirl or Fiora, because those are your two biggest Kryptonian females.
Do we know? Has there been hints? That Zod is there.
There's been hints to nobody.
Okay.
There's been no hints to past villains. There's no been hints to Lex Luthor or anything. But I will tell you this: that this last 4 years in the comics, when Clark and Lois actually had a son, Jonathan, in the comics, right? He actually took Jonathan off Earth to, I can't think of the name of the city now. Kandor.
Yeah, Kandor.
Okay. Took him off to Kandor to learn about his Kryptonian heritage. Lex Luthor was the one that put on the power suit with the Superman symbol in the comics and defended Earth in the place of Superman.
That's right.
And they did team up and fight together. So I remember that comic. I think we're gonna see something like that. And it was a popular comic.
Okay, yes, it was. I read it. It was really good. You gave it to me to read, and it was really good.
So I think we're gonna see a team up like this possibly in the future, which I think would be outstanding. I think it would be great because from what you saw, Captain Luthor's side, I know we're going long on this, but Captain Luthor seems to be a good guy. He's doing some stuff, take out Superman, but he seems to have, when you saw the flashback to his Earth or whatever happened, he's doing it because Superman on his Earth was like Ultraman, a bad Superman. Okay, let's get off Superman quickly. This week, it's coming out this Thursday. Justice League, Snyder Cut, HBO Max, 2 a.m., March 18th.
Dude, I'm seeing these because on socials, they've been putting character, little 50 second clips of each character.
Yep.
I saw Darkseid. You don't understand how,
he looks really good.
I'm triggered by how Warner Brothers didn't just wait for them to put out this movie, because this movie is not the same. You saw Joker. You can already tell. I told you.
Well, what?
Darkseid, or not Darkseid, sorry, Deathstroke. I'm telling you, him and Batman are going to be working together.
Well, we see from the Batman versus Superman, the nightmare scene.
Saw Flash.
The nightmare scene. Yep. And after he wakes up, Bruce in Batman versus Superman, he has a nightmare of Superman in the future, like post-apocalyptic, being the bad guy, working with his own Superman soldiers that had his emblem on, okay? And then when he woke up, you saw Barry, the Flash, time warp somehow through some sort of portal to relay a message to Bruce Wayne. Now we see that this might unfold in this cut.
Well, that's what was most likely set to unfold, because once you take out Doomsday and once they introduce Steppenwolf through Lex, you know, making Doomsday and everything, and he had the mother boxes and stuff. Once they introduce that, it already makes sense that he's coming through. So
I think that I think it's going to be great. I think we're going to see a lot of things that we weren't expecting to see. You know how movies do. Marvel's done it. They've always said one thing to throw you off and think. I think this is going to be very interesting. Of course, you're going to see the original Justice League movie within this 6-part series. You're going to see it. But the added features, the backstory on Cyborg, the backstory on Barrymore, even the backstory with more of Batman, Aquaman, you'll see more of that stuff. I think it's going to be great, but I also think they're going to add some stuff to it with visualization-wise effects that weren't in the original.
Well, they already have. For example, Steppenwolf looks 10 times better than he did in the movie. Superman looks 10 times better. I mean, I get it. It's a trailer.
I don't think you're going to see the
stupid face.
I don't think you're going to see the CGI'd face to cover up the mustache. I heard it starts a totally different way. It doesn't start with the two kids interviewing.
Yeah.
So what I would tell you this week, though, if you're going to watch this, is to go back on HBO Max, because you have to have it anyway to watch it. Go back and watch Batman vs. Superman. Take an extra 4 hours. I know it sounds like a lot, but watch the 4-hour extended series, even if you have to do it in 2 parts or 4 parts or whatever.
And watch Justice. I know they should do both. Watch both.
Yeah, because I think you're going to be really surprised at what you see with this thing. I think it's going to be great. I'm so excited. I've already taken the day off of work to watch it. I told my boss the same thing. He called me a nerd, but that's okay because it's going to be fun, and I'm going to be watching it at 2 in the morning when it comes on. I'll tell you what, some people got lucky this week and already saw it.
No way.
There was a glitch on HBO Max when you played Tom and Jerry. It was on Tuesday that when you played Tom and Jerry, the Justice League started playing.
You're lying.
Nope, I'm not lying.
You're lying.
Nope, it was on there. And then they found out it was a glitch and they pulled it off. So some people already saw parts of it. They saw the beginning of it. That's how I know the beginning is different than what we saw in the regular Justice League movie. So
that's crazy.
Yeah, I guess it starts off with Darkseid.
It starts off.
That's what I heard. And this is social media now, so we can't trust, just because it's the internet means it's true.
Where did you hear it from?
Just in a DC fan group.
Okay, yeah, fan groups you can't always trust.
So, all right, let's talk about this before we run out of time. WandaVision is finally over. I don't want to say finally like it was, but
first season has come to pass.
Yes. I don't want to talk about any other episode but the last episode.
Really?
There were so many fan theories thrown out there of who was going to show up, what was going to happen, that I think it put a damper on people's expectations of what actually happened. Me, I watched it. I thought it was awesome through and through the whole thing.
I thought it was great too. They did something that not every movie or show ends with, especially in the battle. I know you kind of had Wanda and Agatha going at it, but the way that they depicted Vision fighting White Vision was crazy. It usually ends for most, superhero movies with big CGI fight, who's gonna overpower who, and you kind of saw that with Wanda and Agatha, but you're gonna see that. But the way that they gave you a little flavoring of how Vision is able to communicate with whoever he's fighting, even as you see Vision getting rushed, he says, "We don't have to fight. We don't have to do this." And it's cool to see that you see two machines that are on so many, levels of, just being smart and just being understanding, interact the way they did instead of just fighting was amazing. And then we also saw that he got his memories back. So,
right.
But he flew away.
But we're going to see him in the future, I'm sure. They've already confirmed a season 2.
Okay, good.
So I've heard there's a season 2. I don't know if it'll be called WandaVision. It might be called something else, but it will be a continuation of that story. And I will tell you, the 2 post-credit scenes were awesome to me. You saw the Skrulls telling
that was crazy.
Monica Rambeau that Nick Fury basically wanted to talk to her, and he's up in the big sword spaceship, the real sword. I think we have a difference of swords here where Director Hayward's not really the director. Well, he's not now because he's under arrest. Yep. But I think the real sword, which used to stand for sentient worlds, not sentient weapons.
Yeah.
So I think, and it was always a space station. It wasn't
Yes.
on Earth. So I think we're going to see that play out in this phase 4 somehow, especially with the Eternals coming in and being more cosmic. Sword, I think, is going to be the glue in between each thing.
I'm
That-
just mad we didn't see Hank McCoy.
Well, I think they're.
I hope they do that in the future. That would be so cool.
It
such a
said
good
that
way-
there's going to be a Sword television show.
Oh, really?
That's what I've heard.
Okay.
And that he will be on there. That's what I've heard. I can't confirm. I don't want to say positive. I don't want people putting, hey, he said that. No. But, and the other post-credit scene at the very end, you saw Wanda, I would say, up in Canada somewhere, right? Uh-huh. Away from everybody else. She's making tea. And as she goes back into the house to get her tea that's steaming on the thing, you see her in the back inside of this force field she's made around herself, and she's studying the Darkhold. Now, we've seen the Darkhold in 2 other places in the MCU. Not really connected to the MCU, but we've seen it on the Runaways, and we've seen it on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., it came in the form of Ghost Rider, that in season 4 when he came about and all that stuff. And I think this is how you see Doctor Strange come into play.
Okay.
Because
that makes sense.
if you remember the library from Doctor Strange, there was a couple of books that were missing
Yes.
that, what's the villain's name, stole.
What's his name?
Anyway.
Yeah.
Played by Mads Mikkelsen, who is a great actor, by the way. But he stole a couple books, and the Darkhold was one of them. It's the dark magic. It's how to do all the bad stuff. So, what did you think all in all the whole season, though?
I thought the season was good. I thought that it gave a new... Again, it exceeded expectations that everyone thought it was going to exceed. People thought that this was the end, and for them to kick off that... I'm excited. It made me more excited for the shows to come. But this show was really dynamic. It really filled in a lot of gaps with these 2 characters. It filled... Because, the thing that was kind of struggled with between the 2 is that they didn't have an expanded arc, really. And they also didn't... Their love wasn't really shown for each other as much in the MCU. And they didn't get that chance, really, because, they already... either killed off or bigger movies and bigger plots came into the picture, so you couldn't focus on them. But now that we had a chance to focus on them and put a whole story behind them on top of, diving deeper into Wanda's powers and what she can do, now you start to question, oh my goodness, what's her level of power when you're comparing her to people or villains like Thanos or of other Avengers like Thor or the Hulk, Doctor Doom,
or even her
Doctor Strange,
even her father Magneto, which needs to be brought into the light somehow. But what did you think about the whole Peter Evans?
I thought it was a waste of time.
Evan Peter, sorry.
I thought it was a waste of time. I thought it was a trick to throw at everyone. I think it was a waste of time and a failed opportunity. That's just how I think. Because
That's it.
You had so much, you could have done so much with it. It's like that you could have done so much with it. You literally could have tied in.
But the thing about this is, what I've heard is that Marvel is such a fan of him and his acting that it's not the last we saw of him. So maybe he does come in as Quicksilver later on from the X-Men. I've heard they're not trying to recast all the X-Men. A lot of the X-Men you saw in First Class and stuff like that, they want to bring in. We never saw a Storm in First Class or...
I thought we saw her in Apocalypse. I could have swore we saw...
I have to go back and watch it.
No, Storm was there. Psylocke was there.
Okay.
They were there.
Well, we already know that Beyonce signed in to play Storm.
Okay.
So maybe they recast her. But I've heard they want to bring Charles Xavier back with Patrick Stewart and James McAvoy. I've heard with Michael Fassbender coming back as Magneto. I've heard this stuff. So I don't know what they're doing, how they're doing it. But we'll see.
They just need to bring back Hugh Jackman, and I will be happy.
Everybody will be happy.
Listen, I'm telling you, you can't replace that, man.
So Friday coming up, we have what? The Falcon.
The Falcon Winter Soldier.
Yes. So Marvel, right into another show, right into another probably 9 weeks back to back of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which will lead into, in between there, you'll see Black Widow come out.
Yes.
And then hopefully it'll lead right into Loki. And then we're going to kick right into like mid to phase 4. And we're going to see the Eternals come out later on this year. Spider-Man's going to answer a lot of questions when it comes to the multiverse. And then beginning of next year, we'll get into Doctor Doom and all that stuff. And Ant-Man and, Ant-Man's going to explore the whole, everything explode. Thor, but I'm saying everything's going to be exploring the multiverse. Thor's going to be more in outer space probably.
Yeah.
Trying to find a new home for...
Well, I hope they introduce someone like Nova. That would be nice.
That would be nice. I'd like to see a Beta Ray Bill this year, or this phase.
I thought someone was supposed to be playing him.
We're going to see. But we'll see what they go with. But I'm excited. This week is a big week for comic fans because, like I said, we got the Justice League, the Snyder Cut coming out on the 18th. And then the 19th, Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney+. It's going to be a very exciting week. And I'm excited, and that's nothing else we can talk about. Also, Monday, non-comic fans, we talked about this in episode 2, the return of the Mayans MC. I know my friend here does not watch that show, but I'm excited to see the Mayans 3rd season. It's a spin-off of Sons of Anarchy. I like the first 2 seasons. We'll see where it goes from this one, so I'll tune in and be watching that. But thank you again for joining us on the Everything and Chill show. Again, I've been Rob Hunter.
I'm Sean Montero.
And we'll see you next time. Goodbye.
Thank you. Goodbye.
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 Okay, see you later.